Here then, Blue, come on. Up, sit. Good boy. Right, you're part of this duo, alright mate? So look cool, look cool. Good lad. Right, stay there. Now then, so I am excited about this one. I have been thinking about this project for quite a while, and what the concept is a place for cooking outside. For those of you who know me, I love being outside. For those who don't, you now know that I love being outside. So my plan is to make some sort of cooking area. I've got loads of cast iron sort of cooking utensils, you know, Dutch oven sort of things, pans, skillets, all that. And what I need is some sort of way of cooking outside on my piece of land that I own here. I own about half an acre of land. I've got some amazing projects on here already, and I'll show you around those because you are going to absolutely love them. They're awesome. They are awesome, and I'm proud of them, obviously. So yeah, I can't wait to sort of show you guys that. But this one is another project, and I'm going to build some sort of a structure to basically cover an outside cooking area, so I'm sort of protected from the elements, even in winter. So my idea was originally just to do a fire pit with like a little tiny sort of roof over the top on 4 posts, something dead simple like that. But that is not good enough for me. I love doing things which are a little bit more special. George Clark's Amazing Spaces, you know, my brain's just everybody on there basically, so my plan for something boring just doesn't float my boat at all. So I decided to, a couple of nights ago, came up with this idea of making a round structure which, give up Blue, give up, don't be licking, no. So yeah, make a round structure, no, right, lie down, good boy. So to make a round structure, because I don't know if you've ever been anything round before, as like a room, but when you've got a round structure and you're all sat on the outside of that and you're all facing the middle, and the middle's going to be the fire, it's like the most social place ever because everybody can almost see everybody else, and it's just a brilliant place to be. The feeling inside a round place is brilliant. So what I'm going to do is basically make it so it probably sit about, I don't know, 15-20 people in here, but if you just sat there with a beer round a fire, it's going to be absolutely amazing, especially if you've got a big pot of stew on the go or something like that to feed everyone. So here we go. I am going to show you what I've done just to sort of start me off, and I'm going to show you the whole process from start to finish of what I'm going to do, and I'm just designing and building as I'm going. So first job really is to clear the space and then get some sort of post system on the outside to then, which will actually support a roof. That's about it. I know in my head, I'm good at designing these things, what I can do, and I'm pretty good with these things as well. So in fact, no, I'm very good at these things. It's my job. I'm good at this. So yeah, let's bash on and see what we can get on with. Hey Blue, do you look cool? Yeah, good lad. Right, come on then. So I'll just show you what I've done so far. So as you can see, I've sort of dug out and made a circular shape there, which is going to be the flat section of the actual floor to allow this yurt to sort of sit around the outside of that. Now to draw the circle, kept it fairly simple. It's the most accurate way of doing this, but I've just basically put a pin in the middle there, and then I've got a long piece of paracord here with the exact measurement on, which is just a knot. So if I pull this out now, and then all I've done is I've used that knot and walked all the way around the outside, and that's just the easiest way to draw on the ground and know exactly where you need to be. So that has made the circle shape, and it took about, to be honest, to dig all that out and just to level it off. I probably spent about 5 hours by hand, because you can see it's a bit sort of stony in there. But that is the start, which gives me a platform to work off. So as you can see, I've got some massive chunks of stone in here already. So my plan was to actually use some of these as benches around the outside of here. And obviously once I get some structure up, I don't want to be trying to sort of get massive stones in like this, because one will fall over, just wipe the whole lot out and I'll be back at square one. So obviously took a bit of effort getting them in here, walked them in, and they're beautiful. You know, pieces of stone like this, absolutely stunning. And I've got tons of stone which I'm just going to try utilise, which is just pretty much scrap, but I'm going to make things beautiful out of it. So I mean, that piece at the back is massive. I mean, look at this one. I'm just a touch over 6 foot. It's exactly the same height as me. 6 foot piece of stone, that. So as seating, they're just stunning, absolutely brilliant, and obviously cold. So to keep in that sort of traditional sort of like nomadic way of living in these yurts, they would usually use animal skins to sort of insulate and keep warm. So what I'll do is I'll probably just set some skins on top of some of these, maybe just some sheep skins. I've got a couple of deer skins at home which I could use, and wool blankets, things like that, just make it a bit more comfortable and just a cozier sort of feeling and atmosphere within. So just to get an idea of the actual shape of this, I'm just gonna bang some temporary posts in, just to sort of just get that feeling of what it's going to be like. My idea here is to have this stone as the centre when you walk in. So if this post here is one side of the doorway and this one the other, and obviously you're going to walk in, you're going to see the fire pit in the middle, and then this is going to be almost like some sort of throne at the back. So I'm just going to use this ladder and this piece of old board. What I'll do is try to sort of show the actual structure of the roof and the angle of the dangle. Let's have a look and see. So if I use this post, whoa, well, it wants to be up there. So if that'll just stay there, it's safe. So that's actually looks pretty good there. So there'll be the fire in the middle, and what I want to do is to be able to walk round the fire and still have the headroom, which at that there's probably going to be some sort of joist system here, which will bring it down slightly, and the floor's going to come up a tiny bit as well, but I think that's probably about right there. And the good thing about that is, looking at this section here, I'm going to have this pretty much open sided so all the smoke can go out. The smoke will draw up through the central hub at the top as well, but I don't want it to be a smoky, horrible place. But if we've got this little window sort of a lookout all the way around, it almost makes it feel like we'll be sort of sat in nature still, and still getting the views off into the distance there. I love it. I love that. Look at that. Absolutely awesome. So there we have it, the basic concept, a yurt style building. Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult for me to spill my brain out onto the video, just purely because I'm constantly thinking and evolving. Everything's just you know, in my brain going all over. So I'll hopefully be able to project that onto you guys so you can actually keep up and understand what's going on. But basically, structure on the outside is going to be a load of posts which are going to actually support the roof system, and I'm really liking this already. Just the feeling of that is great. So what I'll do is I'll have to, off each post, bring sort of a spar up to the middle. I don't actually know what it's called. Spar, not a bad word for it. And then in the centre you get like a, we'll have to sort of make some sort of like round hub which all those spars then fit into, and and that's how traditionally it was done. I wonder how they made them back in the day, and even currently they still use them now. Anyway, I will come up with some idea for that. I just love designing and making stuff. So anyway, it's ace, isn't it? It is already. It is going to be such a cool place. I love it. Absolutely love it. So this is one of my projects from the past, and that is a shipping container conversion. I spend a lot of time in here. Absolutely love it. I sleep in here often, and this is my seating area. So I've got this copper table I made. So this is just out of a few copper tanks, and all I've done is just pin and a bit of glue around a piece of plywood. And I tell you what, it does take some work to sort this out, but it's beautiful, absolutely stunning. Bit of hammering and battering it about just so it's got that oldie worldy look. And I'll just sit down here and I get to appreciate this view, which is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. And we've got that foxglove piercing its way through that greenery. Right, I am going to do a little bit of a sketch for you guys, just so you can envisage what I'm thinking about, because I'm quite good at visualising things. You know, I'm designing and making in my head, but transferring that to you guys is a different matter. So a little bit of a sketch, and I need to work out the sort of dimensions really, so I have to do a little bit of basic maths. So let's get on and I'll show you that. So let's start this off. We're going to have a circle. Perfect. A central point, which is where the fire pit's going to be. And the easiest way to do this is to dissect this into 16 sections. So we'll split into quarters, and then into eighths, and then we can do 16ths. And at that point, we're going to then put a post, and this is a vertical upright, which is going to carry the weight of the roof structure. So what I'm going to do is, if I keep this at 15 posts, and then this last one here, what I'm going to do is carry the weight and just bridge across there, which just allows me to have the entrance there. And then what I'll do is, well, all these need carrying onto some sort of circular hub. So each one of these will have to actually sit into this hub somehow and attach to it. And all the structure of this will then hold this up in the middle, and it just allows you to have a really wide open plan section underneath. So if I just draw this all out, and we'll do a post, sorry, a little rafter onto each post. This is actually quite tricky doing this. Okay, and this central hub, as I say, we're going to attach to each one. So at the back, exactly opposite this, I'm going to put that big stone. So that's going to be the bench that you see as you walk in. The fire pit will go in the middle. And then I've got other different sort of stones which I'm just going to sort of place around, different sort of shapes. And then we've got plenty of seating around the outside then. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to do maybe in between one of these here, another little sort of a opening, which just allows you to sort of go out of the back way really, because I've actually got this stone wall which comes down the back of, and that's the edge of my property as such. So what I think I need to do is form some sort of entrance. So I might have just build like some sort of little wall inside, but what I need to do is then edge all the way around with just some sort of like upright curbstone really. And if I do that all the way around, then I need to also keep these posts just slightly proud of this line here, purely because if I want to turn this into some sort of yurt, I will need some canvas which I could then close the sides off with. So I could attach the canvas here and then just pull that canvas on the outside of this, so it's not going to actually touch this internal stonework at all, and rub against it and obviously rip the canvas. Also, I'm going to go for round posts, because if I've got round posts, then this canvas is not going to again rub on the corner of a square post, so it should elongate the life of it. So I'll just continue drawing. And then what I'll probably do is I'll probably just plant some sort of bushes just to encase this a little bit, and just keep it so that it sort of blends in a little bit more into the green surroundings. So I'll just plant a few bushes. That's what bushes look like. So the next job is just to work out the distance between each post. So if I've got 16 posts, it's fairly straightforward to do is this. A little bit of simple maths. So what we need to do is we need to work out the circumference here. So to do that, we need to use the equation 2 pi r. So the radius is 2375, and that's in millimeters. And then what we need to do is do 2 times pi, which is 6.283, and then we'll times that by the 2375. So that is a total of 14,922 millimeters. So that's the circumference. And what we need to do now is divide that by the 16 equal sections. So if we divide that by 16, I don't know what that's doing there, and that equals 932 millimeters. So each equal section is 932 millimeters in between. Now the issue I've got here is I can't measure on the curve unless I made some sort of template or something like that, and the accuracy of this doesn't have to be perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at this back point here, and then I'm going to work back both ways until I reach the door. So any discrepancies in the maths for this and how I can actually measure it, I'll just lose it in the door anyway, so give or take sort of 50 mil, it really will not matter. So what I'll do is, instead of measuring the curve, and I'm going to measure straight in between here, I probably will minus off 20 mil per section to allow for the curve. So if I do 932 minus 20, so we've got 912. So 912 mil, I'm going to just make that 910, and that is 910 millimeters in between each section. Simple, eh? Right, let's get outside and we're going to set this magic yurt out. Well, moment of truth. Bang on. So that little bit of maths definitely helped out, because that was fairly straightforward going, that. So I've got a pin in where every post is going to go, and that's the external side of that post. So from here, look at this for an idea. So I've had to move these stones around because they've been doing my head in, getting in the way. But these two here are quite similar. So if I just position this, hang on a minute, they're quite weighty. See if that'll sit there a second. I have it. I have it. So that's the centre line there running to that bench. So if I position these just sort of similar-ish off there. How is that for an entrance? Absolutely awesome. Two slightly different heights here, so what I'll do is I think I'll marry that up and drop one into the ground a bit more. And I might need to put like a bit of a concrete base down for it to sit on. And what an entrance, just in and out there. Yes, eh? So I've been to pick up some materials. So starting with 16 posts. I only need 15, but I bought the 16th one just in case I make a mistake. And these are just 8 foot long, 100mm circular posts. So again, like I said, if I'm using, I'm going to wrap the outside of this and use some sort of canvas, then this round post obviously won't snag it and end up tearing. So not a bad idea really. The other thing was I wanted it to be a non-permanent structure, so basically I don't want to set these solid in the ground. So I've come up with this idea. This is 100mm box tubing, and that almost fits on there, barring a few millimetres. So what I'm going to do is just shave off the bottom of these posts, and I'm going to then slot that into here. Now what I'll do is this I'll set in the ground in just a bit of postcrete or something like that. So once that's set in, then these posts can then be dropped in and pulled out as and when. So if any, you know, in the future any of these rot out at all, simple, take it out, put a new one in. So I think that's a fantastic idea really. The next job then, there's my stone saw with a metal blade in it, and I'm going to be cutting down this 100mm box section tubing. So I've picked up a full length, becoming 7.5 metre lengths. So I've got a 4 metre and a 3.5 metre there just to get it on the car. And so what I'm going to do is chop it down into 500mm sections, which is enough just to drop in the ground, and then the post can then drop into that. So let's get on with it. Right, all marked up, ready to do some cuts. So ear defenders for definite, and most absolute definite for me is a set of eye protection in some way. So I have twice been to hospital with flecks of metal from grinding in my eyes, and what happens is it actually just forms lots of little rust rings around each tiny fleck that sticks to your eyeball. So what I had to do is, for both these times I've been in, is sit absolutely still, my head pressed up against something, and the eye doctor, he just gets a needle and he's just poking out and pulling these little bits of metal off my eyeballs. So yeah, get some of these on, definitely. Right, let's make a start with this, eh? Ooh. There we go, 15 post holes. need to get them in ground now. Four holes down, 12 to go, and it is hard digging. All these rocks, look at this. All this. Anyway, crack on. That one's not coming out, tell you that now. Let's get down about another 50 mil. There's a massive rounded boulder in the bottom there. See if I can break it up. That'll do it. This is hard work. Love it though. So I'm just going to set these posts in now, or post holders. So what I've done is I've just gone around the edge here with a grinder just to take off any burrs, just in case there's anything sharp. So I'll drop this into the hole. I've got my string line here with my knot on, so I know exactly where the external dimension is for this. So I'll set that up something like in the centre. I've also got a laser level, so I might as well utilise that, and if I get them all in at the same level it's going to be easier later on. And then what I've done is I've made this contraption. So this is just my way of holding it still with a couple of stones, and then all I need to do now is plumb it up. That's not bad there actually. I'm not showing exactly where it needs to be, so next job I need to get this concreted in. Right, so quick last check on this. Absolutely bang on. Perfect. Cock on. So, bit of postcrete now. So all you do, fill your hole up about halfway with water. It's actually quite a lot in this to put in. And then we're just going to tickle this all the way around. And then the all important podging stick. That's what it's technically known as. Just manoeuvre some of that around, just so it's solid all the way around it. Just check it hasn't moved. Hey. Spot on, there we go then. So just leave that now for about 3 or 4 minutes, and that's it, set hard, then on to the next one. Well, that was a fair day's work, was that. So I dug the last 5 post holes, and then I've set in all 15 of these post sleeves using some fast set concrete, some post mix. It only takes like 3 minutes to go off, so it's brilliant. Get it set, onto the next one, get it set, onto the next one. But I'm definitely feeling it after digging it. So Anyway, I'll show you around. I've used the laser level to make sure that they're all the same height, and then it just means everything's a bit easier later on when I start dropping these posts in, because everything's going to be the same measurement hopefully. So right, let me show you. Look, blisters. So starting here at this doorway, post after post after post. So all the way around. Look at that, absolutely awesome. I'm about 2.5 days in now, work-wise, and pretty much everything that I've done so far, it's all underground, so you don't even get to see it, which this is what happens with a lot of jobs. It's like you do all this work and it gets then covered up with plasterboard, paint, all that, and then people are like going, oh, you haven't really done anything. You're like, you're kidding. It's like all the different layers just to get to that point. So as I say, you won't see this and you won't see the graft that's gone into it, but I know I've done it and it's mine, so absolutely love that. So the next job for me is probably going to be to clear out, tidy up, try and level the last sort of sections out that I need to do. And then I think I'm going to put some sort of edging stone around the inside of these posts, which just then sort of like holds everything together on the inside, because I'm going to probably flag the floor in here, and then it just allows an edging just to go up to. So there we go, it's getting there, isn't it? I love this game, love it.